Hey y'all, it's your Aaron, and today I'm going to be playing some Minecraft, and this is going to be a video with time lapses and stuff, because I have, I played a bit, and then into the editor, and basically like, when I'm doing something that's like kind of tedious or I just time lapse through. Yeah, today I'm gonna be working on this farm. Yeah, hopefully finishing that off. Yeah, listening to some music, so check the bottom of the screen if you want to see what band is. The name of the song and artist should be there. Put a link in the description. Yeah, I'm playing on my PC survival server, but it's on the infinite snapshot of Minecraft 20W14. There's a whole bunch of custom dimensions. So yeah, I just wanted to clear out that space to make it like easier to get to the portal. So yeah, coming out of time lapse now. Yeah, like I'm gonna be at portal a lot because it's like gonna traverse to different places through. Clear out of the passage. I'll make it bigger with time, but I like to do a little bit here and there as I go, and you know, kind of evolve it bit by bit instead of like trying to do everything perfect, moving on and getting something else perfect, etc. So yeah, I wanted to also on the floor there just so that I know the passage when I come to it next. Now I'm just gonna go get some resources that I'm gonna need for building a farm. I need to get mostly wood and iron. The wood is for and the iron is for hoppers, and I also need chests in. So that many chests, it's mostly for the hoppers. But yeah, I came to this dimension and was like, I don't really want to use mushroom. But maybe I got like a mushroom building block from that, so very good to see, but I just got a mushroom. I was like, okay, no. So I'm going to try and find a dimension with wood. So yeah, this one does have wood, and it's just gonna mine a whole lot. And if I've gotten enough, then I will move on to iron. So yeah, that's pretty much it. So I'm trying this new format where I do like the whole video in voiceover rather than record the audio and playing, because like it kind of just makes it easier for me right now, because well, it's different kind of difficult. It spreads the difficulty, because like recording while playing is like, it's a very kind of high demand, because you got to think of what to say and what you, and the game itself, you know, and your audio levels, and there's like things to think about at the same time. So this way I can play and just play. That's the only thing I'm worrying about. Then when I'm recording the audio, I just record the audio. That's the only thing I'm thinking about. And then I can add the music in as well, separately to those two. And you know, so kind of not have to have the songs arranged before I play. But yeah, I'm just gonna head out again. And now I did like quite a bit of to actually like find the right portal, because like the I come out at the wrong portal at sometimes, and so I didn't know how far to go to get back into the other. other dimension, so like into the same again. So it's like wet, and then up, and actually go to a different dimension, and it looks like one of those hoglins coming to the base. So yeah, this you get iron from, and I think I'm gonna do time lapse again. Yeah. So yeah, so I can like adjust the of the music as well. From recording the game, so the game audio, the voice, and the music, I can all adjust the volume in editing. The downside is when I'm recording it live and playing at the same time, that then once it's done I can just upload it straight away. This way I edit and then upload. So yeah, it's a bit of a mission. That's it for resource gathering. Although I do want to go and grab some stuff from church. So yeah, there was nothing in the gold. I don't need gold, but sand. I actually went and got some cactuses, cacti, whatever, but I accidentally deleted that recording. But it basically went into the isolation dimension, the travel dimension, went all the way to where the desert biome was, took down a bunch of cactuses and went back. Thing later with bamboo, so okay, so now I am just looking for sand, and I decided that I do well because I want to make a portal to the travel dimension, the isolation. I'm farming the sand from, so then I want to go sand rather than dimensional. Getting the sand from this one. I'm going, but you where the portal in the biome where the sand is. But there is a lot of sand in this dimension, so I still do want to use it as like a way to farm. But I don't have to run over there. I'd rather just go into like the travel dimension, where it's straight and not complicated to traverse, and but here I want. And also it's kind of easier to from the travel dimension sometimes than the hallway basically. Like if it's on outside on the outer edges, the ones that are in like the middle are obviously quite easy to get to. Mention how easily you can break the stone, like literally with anything, like it literally insta-mines the stone, and it's difficult to not break one block at a time. So that kind of took a bit there to show you how cool that was. And I'm just gonna mission over to that looks good to plant a portal. I was like, okay, this looks like it's kind of in the middle of the sand area, but also should be visible from sort of far away. And my spade broke, so let's just quickly make a new one. But yeah, so it does take more time to edit, so it ends up being overall to do it this way. The benefits are that work can be spread out across multiple days, and it's not like bad audio, the cats jump around and make a noise or whatever, that like it's basically like lowering the quality of those videos. You have like a good place to record where I can make sure, you know, it's like good audio, gonna stuff, and that's probably gonna be for quite a while because a lot of work to do house, but I get to setting up space like that. It's kind of like a way. And also like, you know, the other before I went back, I also decided that I wanted to grab a whole bunch of sand. So I just came here and removed the sandstone where it is, because I don't really need sandstone right now. The quality better by doing it this way, audio wise, and also the fact that I can do time lapses, which even though there's like still like obviously not that much happening, when it's in the time lapse the image is happening faster, so it condenses it into more of a match. So yeah, I really like time lapse, just the way they look. So yeah, I wanted to build around the portal just to help visualize that it's going to the sand place. At some point I want to have like more visible, like I don't know if it's like writing the name, writing like what it is in blocks on the ground or something, but like something more visible. And then also have like, you know, like block lines in a way. Also kind of realized that you get the benefit that you get from nether traveling, where like it's like this is 1-to-1, so it doesn't actually cut down on your travel time. It's just more convenient than the overworld or other dimensions going through them manually. And also you can sort of connect different dimensions up and stuff through it. You don't have to always go like back to the first and then to another dimension. Go to the travel dimension if, you know, the place you go to dimension portal nearby into another dimension. Yeah, it's gonna go. Cats are destroying the house, I assume. So yeah, I can also like focus like what I'm saying. So, because like sometimes, especially when I don't have a lot of energy, or if I'm trying to play and all the stuff as well and that, then I don't concentrate as much on talking, having these long periods of silence. And I mean, it's not like there's anything wrong with that, it's just not the plan. Is to be talking. Because, you know, I'm going to talk about stuff that is worth sort of listening to, kind of like just sort of what I'm. But yeah, I'm also in a pretty G phase at the moment, so I've just been talking again. And I guess people that are watching, it's cool, but it's not like people are really going to be listening, just to listen. But I will get to that kind of stuff. I just have energy and stress right now, so maybe when I'm feeling better I'll get around to it. But yeah, I still want to keep making videos, obviously, because like, to me it's kind of an escape as well from like all of the struggle and difficulties and you know, like you don't really have autonomy in real life. There's so many things I would like to do that I can't do because once I'm working for a boss and then I have no energy to do my own stuff. So in my, because it's like you can work on stuff, but it's like, you know, you're choosing what to make, and you're the one that's benefiting it. And it's like, I go to this dimension to get that, and go on to get that. It's like I'm making a choice, and I guess that's a nice like kind of good for having that in real life, where like I can't really make choices because all that I want to do at the time, and my time is all to work and like rest, like recovering from work. But I am in a better place than I was before. Like, it's really noisy all of a sudden that I started to record. Maybe they know that I'm like recording, like the cats come out first and they're like, talking, yay, let's run around and make noise too. Good job. It's like an antidote to my soul, was like, have so little agency in real life. Working on it, but it's kind of a dilemma because it's like anything that could change that equation and to spend all my time requires time. Like say I wanted to start my own business or whatever, and perhaps that can pay my bills, and then I do get agency. It takes a lot of time and effort to start that business basically, and then I keep doing my regular job, doing that hypothetically, because my regular job is the only thing that's actually making your business work. You know? That's why, like, if you do want to start a business, I'd recommend you have like a whole bunch, like I'd say some need to live on like 3 years, a little bit extra for stuff you might actually need to buy for what you're doing, if there's anything like that. Because like then you're giving yourself room to succeed, where it might take that long for it to be able to, you know, cover your costs and stuff. But if you're full time, then 3 years is, you know, giving yourself at least a decent chance. But less than that, it's like you risk of like getting, could have succeeded, but it just took more time, and then you run out of funding or whatever. And then do you go looking for, because that's a whole nother thing. Yeah. Or do you get a job and you don't have the time? So in my case, I want to start a business with a friend, and I ran out of money and stuff, and so I ended up getting a job, and then I couldn't do the job and the startup stuff, so I left the startup. So it's pretty, you know, to actually change that equation. I'm just building like a splash pool here so I can jump off and get down quickly, by the way. And that's basically the only thing I thought I was going to add, but then I thought later on that I might add down and have the farm, the items types, and have the stuff like the smelting and that done at the bottom and at the top. So then, like, to use it as like an XP bank or whatever, you don't have to go up to the farm. I'm probably with a couple more to like house the component. Like I'll probably do some sort or something like that at the top, because like I want to have potential to get some, like maybe it can be like a toggle, yeah, where you can like turn off if you want to get paper. Just wait, paper, yeah, paper, bamboo, cactus. I guess it doesn't, like you could switch between like paper and sugar, I guess. But nah, I don't know. Maybe I'm overthinking it. For now I think I'm gonna make the XP bank have the paper come into like the chest and have the blue and go into the XP bank small. So yeah, a lot of different things that I want to do and I think would be valuable, but you know, like it's the same problem starting a business. So like the alternative to starting a business basically would be to like work on something that has a lot of value to people that they will then want to support, like via whatever. When that goes, then you can time. So it's kind of the same thing as starting a business, except the customers are people for the content creation or whatever, rather than a specific product. Some people do treat it like one video a week or whatever, but for me it's like more like I'm as much as I can. and instead way. So end up not being able to post once a month. I put my Patreon on pause. Like I did that when I was recovering from the assaults and stuff. I was like, wanted not to show off, like feeling like people are paying me and I'm no intention of putting anything out, because I was just trying to get over it. But obviously still got a long way to go with that. Recovered, it's not as bad. So yeah, I've got 2 pipes right now. I will need to one for the paper. Basically I'm gonna try and do those things when I can, but at the moment what I can do is basically this. Every now and then I can also make a video, but I don't have energy for like creating the TV series that I wanted to create, or the game, or writing the book I want to write, like, or the network stuff is like, all of that stuff is like really constantly coming up with ideas on how to do it and stuff, and I write it down on that, but like I don't have the time to do all of that. I have to pick something, and for me it's like difficult. It will be difficult for me to be consistent if the thing that I'm doing is gonna be like wearing me down. If I'm trying to work beyond my capacity, then I'm not going to be able to sustain it for long. So that's why I picked like Minecraft, where oops, I died. It's not a I was like, okay, let me just like netherrack while I'm at it. I thought it was cool to put the bed there, like in the nether room, because it's like it's in the nether. Like as you spawn, you like kind of looks like you're in the nether a bit, and it's like something doesn't seem right here. So to go into see, I could get cobblestone, I think it was. Finish the floor. So like to have that floor underneath. I didn't actually go. I stepped out and in again, but like out far enough. Just like you have to step out a bit further. But yeah, that whole like extra space below the top of the do like redstone stuff or whatever of items around in there, so it's above ground basically. Like it's giving me the ability to do stuff below ground. I was gonna also use for hopper mine carts, the on rails moving. But then when I came across this new method that people use for cactus farms, where you have basically hoppers, a minecart with a hopper, and then you put the rail, the minecart with the hopper on top of that, and a block of sand on top of that, and then when you break the rail, sand falls into the minecart. Once a cactus on the sand, so it's directly on top of the hopper minecart and the sand block. And then when it grows, there's something above it, so it can't grow. It breaks, and then the piece that broke gets sucked right into the hopper because the breaking originated from the block that's directly on top. So that's a cool hack, basically. Um, and, but I think people don't use it normally because of how expensive it is. Because like the line of hoppers, Minecraft with the hopper rails can pick up all the heights basically in a line, but the same thing with the line of hoppers, however long it is, say it's 10 blocks, 10 hoppers versus one Minecraft hopper. A lot more expensive when it comes to like iron. Then link the portal from the other side, because from here, portal on the other end doesn't link back to the custom dimension you came from. It always goes back to the overworld. So you actually have to have different crawls to make portals that go between each other if they're both custom dimensions. Custom dimension. So yeah, and then I haven't seen anybody using that same method for bamboo farms, but I'm gonna try it as well, just because it's like I like it in a way, how it's kind of elegant, rather than having like this minecart running up and down, or like a machine, like. So also like it's kind of cool platform up here because you can jump off here to fly below the blocks to wanna go. So yeah, I can make, so because this is like spread out a bunch, the workload, you know, it takes me like basically to make one. So I can do one a week, but if the quality is better, even if it's less than one compared to like 2 or 3 a week, then that still might be better for the people watching, because about progress. A video like this with time lapses, I can still get like the same progress as I would have normally got with 2 or 3 videos, but only in one video. So I'm still making a decent progress, but putting it into one video a week. I want to make some more space. I'm finally ready to like actually start building this farm now. Like I was so worried about messing it up or it not working, whatever. Procrastinating to actually start it. But I'm able now with this farm, so got the hang of it. And I guess like I'm kind of new. I played Minecraft way ago, and then I played like a couple years ago, like maybe a year and a half ago or so, before first break-in of this, and like they stole that me and my boyfriend were playing, and they stole my computer. But that wasn't on the Infinite Dimension version, but what we'd done was like basically world in Minecraft. So yeah, that was cool, but I didn't get around to doing any farms or redstone or anything like that. But so I'm kind of learning as I go now. But the more I do it as well, so like it gets a little bit less intimidating the more I do them. I guess I started with a good one. With the chicken farm is a bit complicated. The squid farm is like very simple. But those are far hidden at some point. Like I'm gonna cover them up with like them in a black like box or whatever. Required to make the game work, but really not the fact that you have to hurt animals. So kind of want to just like get and then cover it up and be like, we don't talk about we just have feathers and ink when we need it. Yeah, I'm at some points in the future they'll like give some love to the infinite dimension snapshot, letting people upgrade those worlds to like have the new features from like 0.17 etc. like then you can have those features and maintain your custom dimensional world or whatever. But even if they don't, you know, I am having a lot of fun with this, and I don't really want to do something else, you know. Like this is to me a much funner way of playing Minecraft, because like you need iron, but the iron, it's like explore, you know, like go and find the wild. You'll find a place where it's abundant, and then rather than constructing, you know, farms. Another thing is like the fact that I'm playing is like I really like playing on peaceful, but there's a lot of farms that require mobs, and playing peaceful non-infinite snapshot is like much harder than playing it on infinite. Much harder. If you want to do very big scale stuff, like this farm, would really hard without like, you know, wood and iron dimensions, redstone block dimensions, and you know, so even like the squid farm, like you normally can't really have. Very difficult to find a place that has water. The squid will spawn, but then have like a long amount of blocks around it where no other mobs. And this part of this, you know, the fish. So, you know, in the now dimension, you get the, you know, you get the squid spawning in any water because it's a deep ocean. There's no naturally occurring, so they don't. No other mobs spawning anywhere in the world other than rats. But like, you know, there's like no fish or squids or anything anywhere else. So the farm gets like some really decent rates. To do the same thing in non-infinite snapshot, would literally you'd have to like create a perimeter, like empty out like any water that isn't what you're farming, and then like light it all up so that no mob spawn, and so much more work than just finding the right dimension. Closest I'd like to play is, if I had to choose between new features or custom dimensions and stuff, I'd pick the dimensions. So I'm happy to keep playing this for years. I mean, you're not so out of dimensions. Every new dimension has a whole new opportunity for builds you can match that particular world. And it's interesting, like there's a dimension that's like the same as the overworld in a lot of ways, but when I went to Sky, like, not on the world I'm playing, but on like a separate world, single, not the server, and it's like the glitches, like the ravines and stuff that are glitching out on they're not in that dimension. So it's like a glitched version of the Seed's overworld, which is like kind of interesting. And so yeah, like the whole aesthetic is like, that this is like gonna have this gonna sort of sci-fi-esque features to it, but then I could have like that non-glitched version of the overworld be like a place that's kind of like a historical, so like have like the whole non-sci-fi aesthetic, like the normal Minecraft, like more primitive vibes. If you look at the way the villages are and stuff, closer to that in that dimension. So yeah, this is like a lot of cool creative decisions you get to make and stuff, and yeah, I'm having fun with this version of Minecraft. I do recommend it if you are okay with missing out on the latest features coming out, like the increased world height and depth, the caves, the new biomes, like it's all really cool. But so is like not as cool in my opinion as custom dimensions. And I have a lot of like ideas for how to make it cool. So I think with time I can maybe prove that case, prove that decision, and peaceful as well. If someone wants to play peaceful but they're like worried that there's going to be a whole bunch of stuff like making like try out the custom dimensions like on the infinite snapshot, play that peaceful, and like you don't have to worry about mobs griefing you, killing your buildings or whatever, and it's like, so it's like a lot more fun in my opinion to play. I don't know. I guess for me, like, I enjoy the building aspect and making, me that's the part that's fun, not the survival. Like, I don't care. Change of clothing because I'm recording this at a time, but anyway, I had a whole bunch of saplings here just from knocking trees over, so thought I might as well plant them and have them be like to whatever else I'm doing there, because the XP bank thing there. So yeah, it's a pretty empty dimension, might as well make the area a bit more interesting. Yeah. I now go and get some more resources. I was right out of logs because you use like more logs than you do iron blocks for the hoppers. For because you'll use more logs than iron blocks. So yeah, let's go get some more logs and iron blocks as well. And so forward through grabbing these blocks. Yeah, that'll be that. So yeah, I was just talking about how I find Peaceful to be a lot fun in the game mode, but would kind of suck if it wasn't on the infinite dimension. So I've seen like other people on YouTube make some like survival series on the infinite dimension, but they all kind of did it like at a slower pace. They weren't planning to do like too big of projects and things because, you know, it is a snapshot, so you know, you might not want to commit to a long-term survival world on it because A, like as I was saying, it's going to be difficult to upgrade to later versions and get the new features, and B, obviously being a snapshot, it's like sort of in development, so there could be a whole bunch of like bugs and stuff, and you know, you could have stuff like your world getting corrupted and things like that, so it is a bit risky. But to me it's like, well, back up of the world now and then, and yeah, the payoff is kind of worth it for me, and I haven't really had issues or bugs. Like this is like 28th episode. We had one instance where my world was a bit screwed, but then by the server actually is fine, and that's the case. Fabric mods, I think the Fabric API whatever like stores names of certain biomes, so it has to save biome names in its like cache or whatever that the server didn't have in its cache. It was like causing the world to not load, but I managed to remove those names from the client's cache or whatever, and then the world loaded. So but yeah, I've got the iron blocks now, so I'm ready to go back and work on the farm some more. And yeah, basically I just wanted to scale the farm up a bit because it's like the first time I'm building a farm like this, so I didn't really know what kind of yields I would get, and it would be cool to get a bit more than I was getting. But yeah, I think the base is coming along slowly. So I've gotten all the gear and the enchantments and stuff, then I can really start to empty out some of the space down there. Because I mentioned that the main base there is meant to be like an underwater city, but the touristic-y city, if I can pull it off. So the idea is to have, you know, it's not like our building day, if that makes sense, like a floor with a few meters of space and stuff. It's going to be like big spaces and stuff that It's like you know, in the future when we have better technology, we'll be able to build things without as much structural supports all over the place. So yeah, and so the idea is kind of like a indoors garden, whatever I've got there is, and then make buildings nearby to it. You know, I have to create the buildings, but they'll be for different purposes. But the one, the spawn point is or whatever, the starting base, that one's gonna be kind of like an indoor garden where there'll be trees and animals and all that kind of stuff. And yes, yeah, in terms of like a building purpose, it would be like, you know, it's underwater, you obviously can't have outdoor gardens inside. So I guess if you think of it as like the moon or something, like your park dome type thing. And then, but I think I'm kind of aiming to get the beacon set up and stuff as well before that kind of thing. And to actually do the beacons justice, I want to have them like kind of near the base up, just above them so they can get. And then also want to build like a spiraling stairway going up around the beacons once they are functioning. And yeah, finishing up the stairs here. About, you know, when I make the farm bigger, I want to make it easier to get up, so it's easier to build, but also for maintenance. Yeah, like I was saying, I have like quite a lot of ideas to do in this world, because I was like thinking quite a while before I even always getting new ideas, but gotta go bit by bit, and it's like, I guess. But yeah, I'm just gonna fast forward through the rest of building this farm. We know the basics of how it works now, and yeah, so sometimes I'm do stuff that's like not that interesting, repetitive, whatever, as I mentioned before. I'm also recording this on the 8th of May, so I guess that day is gonna probably days for Elon Musk going on SNL. People are they've got their intakes about it, I guess. I don't see anything wrong with it. Like, he is a celebrity. They have celebrities on. It's the usual thing. But it's in how Elon Musk can get like, what, baby? Got a piggy on my lap. I don't know if the purr's coming through in the recordings. But yeah, it's in me how like polarizing it is. Like, people sometimes they like tend to really hate him, or like really like him, and I'm like in the middle. So they both groups, or basically everybody, has a problem with my opinion, that he's well-intentioned capitalist. There's many of them around. and times when they have to choose between capitalism and their good intentions, capitalism wins. But that's the nature of capitalists. Like, people who want him, to me it just feels like they want him to be a leftist, and that's cool and all. Like, I also want him to be a leftist, but I don't understand the hate and like making fun of him and stuff that goes along with that. It's like very strange to me. And you know, I have a few theories. Obviously different people might have different reasons for it, but I got a couple theories on why I think people are like that. The different groups of people, I guess, would have different reasons. So the people that really like him, they like the fact that when, you know, we have this climate emergency and the governments are like all dragging their feet and not wanting to think about it, he actually decided to do something. And, you know, is partly responsible. I've got a cat to go through the gate. I know. But yeah, so you know, especially for people who are like more on the sort of ANCAP side of things, who capitalism is good but the government isn't, they really like that somebody took initiative and started to get the ball rolling before the governments did. There's another group of people who might be extremely like him, and that's basically your kind of nerd, likes all the meme references that he makes and likes the things that he philosophizes about and talks about, simulation, hypothesis, you know, and I guess and stuff. And although crypto is probably also but yeah, you know, there's people that are genius and like an amazing engineer, and I think that's a little bit exaggerated, I think. But one of the things I like about Elon Musk is that he's very practical and he values information a lot. Like he said himself that ideas are easy. It's like trivial to have a good idea. It has no value basically whatsoever. Is in implementing the idea, and that implementing an idea in a proof of concept way is 1,000 times harder than having the idea, and implementing it in a mass production scale type way is 1,000 times harder than that. So the idea is only a millionth there, or a millionth part of anything good basically that can get done at a large scale. So, you know, for him, I guess, when people tell genius that he's probably like, that's not, you know, I don't think he sees compliment of how many times he said that the idea is not the great, you know, the thing to value. And so yeah, that's maybe other people also like him for those reasons. And I think as well that he is really neurodivergent, and obviously supposed to sort of, you know, armchair discuss people's, you know, it's kind of like saying whether you think someone is like closeted queer or something, to say they're like closeted autistic, for example. That I think there's so much information about being autistic that there is some value in pointing out that not everyone who's autistic has like abilities or disorders. Some of them have, you know, very interfacing with social and can still have, you know, autisticness in them. And that being said, I wouldn't say that Elon Musk even has easy interface with social situations. So, but at the same time, he has enough not sort of get laughed out of the room or whatever. Maybe that's also because he's successful and rich and all. Maybe that makes him immune from that, but definitely for me, when I'd rather watch an interview with Elon Musk than any politician, because, you know, like, he talks about stuff that is interesting to him, and it's not like this sort of BS fest, you know. So yeah, I finally finishing off the farm here, so I wanted to slow it down to sort of give that some more screen. So I put those glass blocks at the top of those holes so that apparently it stops the top layer from shooting cactus out the top on the like tutorial video this type of farm. So take their word for it. But you can actually make this like a lot higher. You just keep adding more and more, and you could make it wider too. But I think for now it's probably big enough. We'll have to see how quick the XP build, XP bank, once that's going. We need to add more, because like you want to like this is to keep going permanently till the storage is full or whatever. You don't want them to sit there waiting for cactus. So you know, you could start with one furnace and then see if then go points, etc. So we'll see how big XP bank can be once it's all. It is producing, you know, every. I mean, I'm looking at it now, and I think, yeah, 10-15 seconds. Get another. A few per minute, so yeah. I finished the cactus farm. I realized that I need to actually get some bamboo, because like, do you have any? I think that's what I'm gonna do now. Yeah, I actually like creating a waypoint on this map at minutes of a bamboo jungle. I can run it, pop out some bamboo and bring it back. Also, yeah, like, I think I forgot to take like an anvil and flint with me. Flint, flint was so you'll see in a bit that I like turn around and come back, because I wanted to actually light obviously from that to gold. And then I'm gonna have to throw a book and quill overworld so that it takes me back to this dimension, to the nether. Because when you go out of a dimension into the or into anywhere basically, the one on the other end acts as a normal portal again. So if you want to go, I think I might have said this already, there are two ways. I don't know, I had to like record some already, but if you want to go both ways, from a custom dimension to another custom dimension, it takes 2 book and crawl. Going from custom to overworld, it's only 1 book and crawl, because the one to the overworld doesn't, but the one. So I think I'm again chopping down these trees, ready to go get the bamboo. I'm pretty sure I'm also gonna plant the saplings that fall down. So yeah, I kinda need like more wood, because that I need so much. You need more wood than you do iron. So it's like for every iron block you need just under 2 or something to make hoppers. Obviously if you're going to make mine hoppers, then that's probably more iron overall, but there's more hoppers in Minecraft and hoppers by quite a bit, and there will be more when I and stuff. So I think I'm gonna overall now to get some obsidian, if I'm not mistaken, to make those portals. Go to my storage, do some inventory management. So yeah, reasons why people like Elon Musk. There's also the product initiatives he's involved in, SpaceX, Tesla, Solar City, the boring company. And for every one of those people who like the technology, fans Elon Musk as a result, and the people who using the most sort of processes doing things, like basically he's basically just taking the software development way of developed and applying it to like other industries. It's not a like mind-blowing thing, but it is unique in companies that are very large. Yeah. Then there's people who like his personality. I mean, I kind of do and don't at the same time. Like sometimes I don't. It depends on that particular aspect. But I do think it's cool to hang out with. So reasons why people don't like him. Well, you can take every single positive thing and there's a negative version. Like some people like that he's neurodivergent, or that as a quick value. For some people that's reason to. Now they might know that they're hating him because he's neurodiversity to what they do. There's still the underlying reason why. And honestly, I feel like among politically minded people, that is the largest portion. The people that don't like him, who are politically progressive and whatever, they mostly, I would say, their main reason for not liking is, although they won't claim that, they'll claim XYZ project is, there's a different way of doing things, or XYZ, oh by the way, here's a little house. So this dimension has this house. So I wanted to come and have a look around because I haven't been to it before. Actually there's like a chest somewhere in the ground, but I didn't really want, so I didn't go looking for it. I'll probably, like, if I wanted to, I'll go look up where it is, but yeah, I think most likely what I will end up doing is reproducing building and then moving by a different dimension and then south, because like this dimension, it's cooler if in dimensions that like the storage dimension. I have Spectre, sit on my lap, Picky's already here. This third, it's already taken. First come, first serve. So, yeah, so now the reason I say that is because I think that, you know, whatever other reason that those kinds of people give, like they don't like this technology or this project or the way that he runs his company or whatever, he's anti-union, etc. And those are valid criticisms, but he's like nowhere near the largest offender when it comes to that. And he's also got his own unique reasons for being in those positions that they ignore. And I'm not saying that his reasons justify it, but I do think that they matter. And when people act like they don't matter, then to me it indicates that there's like some special type of dislike for him that they don't have for others. Like, there's people out there who are literally trying to do as much harm to others as they possibly can. There's people out there who don't care about the environment or like making humanity spacefaring, for example, or green energy or better traffic, you know, like there's people that would not bat an eye if everything went to crap and humanity fell into, like, you know, a state of chaos. And, you know, especially on the right, but even on the left, there's like people who, you know, are active, or not, they're not really on the left, but who claim to be on the left, specifically have primitivists in mind, but they're not actually on the left, but they claim to be. But yeah, so like, why do they keep making memes and jokes and stuff against Elon Musk and not against people who are, you know, sort of actively trying to do more damage to society? They pick the one person who is imperfectly and very far from perfectly, but at least trying to improve society. That's the one person that they need to channel all their, like, insults and criticism against. And to me, it's got a number of reasons why they would do that. Like, I think him in particular, his quirkiness and whatever, that it's like, it's hard to understand if you're not neurodivergent, but people tend to like take those things and then reinterpret them in wildly negative, like, different forms. Like he wants to go and build like a city on Mars, and then everyone is like, oh, the rich just want to go and, like, you know, with you know, the consequences of their actions and escape with their wealth. And it's like, are you think like, why would rich people want to leave Earth? Earth is where gods, and there's so much real estate they can profit. Like, why would they go somewhere where it's like by its very nature less hierarchical, because you're all on your own there, you only have each other, and you're not going to arbitrary hierarchy stop you from trying to achieve success in that environment, because you can't go anywhere else. That's the one shot, you know? You either eliminate the people trying to sort of you eliminate to do that, or you subservience in a place, you know, that provides a weakness to yourself. Like, furthermore, you know, shop luxury, like you're not gonna have domestic and like 10 bedroom houses with parties, you know, like, you're not gonna be able to go to like the fanciest like hotel. Now, I'm not saying Mars will never end up being that rich people would want to go to, but you know, the people who are like basically right now boomers, for them, like, they're not even going to be alive at that point. So is it like an escape for the rich boomers, but then it'll only actually end up being worth going to if you're rich, if you're a rich millennial? Like, so there's so many flaws in their logic. And rather than actually take him at what he says, which is that he wants us to be a multi-planetary species so that if an asteroid hits the Earth and wipes it out, it doesn't cause the entire species to go extinct. What's wrong with having that as your reason? Why do you need to come up with all these conspiracy theories? Like, no. It's like, have you never met a nerd? Like, those kinds of things are stuff that we are interested in, care about, like, and yet, you know, if you have like a quirky personality, then it's like, you know, it's like, if you were to advocate that stuff like very seriously and neurotypically and stuff, then, you know, people would not have this negative reaction to it. They might not care about it, they might think they disagree with it, but they wouldn't start making fun of it, you know, at such a level. Anyway, by the way, I spawned underground in a mine shaft. Like, I knew there was a mine shaft there because when I was looking for the bamboo jungle, I saw it was there, and I did want to have a 2-for-1 where I check out the mine shaft at some point as well. But I was hoping to spawn around, so looking down this portal and at the top. If you want to check out the mines, but the actual bamboo jungle is the more relevant destination. I mean, that mine shaft goes from world border to world border, I think, or whatever, like, so crosses over many biomes. It's not unique. Although I'm gonna try and get like above the or something to make a foster transport network, but this one's kind of cool as well, I guess, for now. I mean, there's not a huge amount of investment in it at the moment, so even if I switched all the portals to the Nether or something, it's not a train smash. I'm not gonna do more of these until I confirm where they actually get transport working. But yeah, I was looking for a good spot to put the portal because I want it to be vertically above and below so that it links up to one dimension. And so yeah, stuff like tunnel, where like people are like, oh, we need like you know, better public to dig more underground, or like it's just a subway or whatever, a tunnel where both in the but it's like there is a problem and that is a solution to, but it's not the solution is best. And so now that's a reason to ask, when the people who are like working for the company, the people who are buying their services or whatever, like they are doing it because they're seeing it, for example, able to get from the airport where the hotels are in Las Vegas. I think that's the one there. Like you get across the strip quickly, like there you realistically do that. And like yeah, build a subway, but like mutually exclusive, you know? So it's like you should be able to get both, but just because you're not getting the one you want the most, and so to me immature. It's like I didn't get the flavor I want, so you know everyone else not have candy at all or whatever. It's like, what is the point? Like rail is so good and everything, and I'm not saying it's not, but it's such a better answer to that problem. I not advocate for it, get that built, and but obviously there, you know, there isn't, I don't know, like it's like just because nobody's busy doing that, like it's Elon Musk's responsibility to do 100% everything perfectly right and not just do for his company. It's like there would be like a Bernie Sanders type hero because he has his own ideas of things and doesn't do things 100% there, then it's like then you're Satan, or it's like you're supposed to be Jesus, not Jesus, so you're Satan. Or what is going on in these people's minds? It's like, and the thing that specifically people who consider themselves to be annoys me the absolute most when they do that is that it's people like Elon Musk that will need to become socialist, anarcho-communist for society, because he is so like primed to already move over, and there's a large amount of people in society, including people who are rich, including like politicians, who are going to be part of, you know, if we get a socialist society set up, they and it was like over the whole world. Are you imagining like 0 of those people? What do you think, to like kill them all or something? Even the ones like, yes, I played the game of Capital and did a lot of shitty things. I'm putting that behind me. I'm going to try and make this new work, this new social society. I'm in it. I'm going to support you guys with whatever I can. Just let me know. No, even that, those types of people need to get killed? Or are you saying 0 people will be like that? Like, what is going on in your mind, you know? And it's like, so it's kind of like the canary in the coal mine thing. It's like when Elon Musk starts being anti-hierarchy, anti-capitalist, and anti-state all at the same time, you know that you are basically on the way to popular support, because he's like an early adopter in that sense, you know, and that's his personality. And that, to me, is also why I say that I think he might be autistic, because that's kind of what a lot of autistic people are like, is they have very strong opinions, but as soon as they realize that their opinion is wrong, then they update it. So making fun of him and stuff, that's not going to move him to the left at all, and so they're actively resisting the things that are going to change the society from happening, because they, I think, are not mature enough or something to think strategically, or it's all a game to them or a sport, not actually about practically changing the world. Anyway, I managed to get a rant off, but it's going to be the end of this episode. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you all around. Bye.